What's up, small fries? I'm Sera Proto, and I hope you liked the video. Welcome back to Cancelled Videos. This is a series of videos about videos that I can't make, don't want to make, don't have the ability to make, or for some other reason, I won't make it into a video. So here's two video types I don't make, and why. Videos about 3D model original species. I often get asked to make original species videos about a large variety of original species. Some of these are made by the person who requested it, sometimes it's something more obscure that the person can't find. But one I get a lot is recommendations for specific species that are made into 3D models. Things like the Novabeasts. Now, a lot of these are greatly designed, and that's why they're so popular. But the people who make these almost never include any sort of extended universe. They're made to be bought and edited, and design always comes first. And that's why they get so popular, because they're designed really well, and design is the main focal point. The reason they don't get made into videos isn't so much that I don't want to make these species videos. I really do, actually. So if you make 3D models, and they're species you made up, please focus on the screen for a second. Please make lore. Please, even a scrap, an ounce, a drop, anything. That's it. Look, I want to give you free advertising, but you have to meet me halfway here. You have to have something for me to make a video about. If I make a video about how I think your species is cool, that's maybe a max of 30 seconds, and while that's perfect for a short, that's not good for either of us. My shorts do poorly, and even if they didn't, I would make more money digging into my couch cushions for change. So, what am I looking for? It's really pretty easy. Literally anything. Every one of these species that are made specifically for models have no lore whatsoever, not even in the description. I get that you can't do that on Gumroad listings because you need to put the info that affects a sale, but I'm going to show you your new best friend. It's Card. Not sponsored, but they really should. This is a website making site with the idea to make a digital business card, but they can actually make fully fledged websites. This one is for Obsukians. It's an example of how complex they can be. See how it looks like just any old regular site? Like, it's got multiple pages, but you don't even need this much. Write 1 or 2 pages worth of lore in 11-point font. I have to specify 11-point font so that you crafty people out there don't, go making 72 font pages where it's just massive text, so that you don't have to write that much. Make it 11-point font. And then divide it into sections for description, culture, reproduction, design rules, and generalized lore. For the description, write about the species itself. Make up some cool anatomy stuff and explain why they look the way they do. What advantage does this appearance give them in their universe? Here you can also explain the differences between the sexes. For culture, write about the social dynamic of the species, like what era are they in? Are they spacefaring, or is this a Wild West setting? That kind of stuff. Then specify stuff like their lifestyle. What does the average member of this species' life look like? Then for reproduction, it's optional, but if you don't specify, people will make up weird kink fulfillment stuff for your species. You might not think this is an issue, but Avali had to shut down their wiki because this got out of hand, and they had to make stuff about reproduction because the creator never specified it before leaving their fandom. Do they reproduce like mammals, and do it like they do on the Discovery Channel? Do they reproduce like chickens via a cloacal kiss, like Avali? Do they use magic, like Manokits? Or are they raised in test tubes, like Protogen? For design rules, simply put here what defines your species appearance. I understand why you wouldn't normally include these rules. You're selling a 3D base. People won't edit it so heavily that it's unrecognizable as a species. But for a species to be a species, you need to define what makes it different from the others. Think about a dog and a cat. What features define a cat versus a dog? You should do that with your species. Lastly, generalized lore. This can be anything, but it's additional flavor for the species. Maybe a intro that, gets people into the mood for what the species is. Some people do a creation myth, or religions and factions. At the end of this, you should easily have a 1.5 to 2 pages. You could easily get this written in an afternoon. Hey, real quick, Sera from Editorland. I totally forgot about sandjaws and stuff like that when I was making this video, and then I was like, oh wait, sandjaws are a really perfect, example of this. So, sandjaws are a species that me and Rook made together in 40 minutes. This included coming up with the idea for the species itself, like everything. We started from nothing. and then coming up with the lore, the art, the description, the rules, all of that. And we easily created 2 pages worth of lore and art in just under an hour. So, like, we did this with, 2 people, but however long you think it takes to make this sort of stuff, it's much shorter than it actually is. So, like, you really should just, like, take the 30 minutes to, write down the lore. And it will only, make your species better, because it makes it more relatable. If you want some amazing examples of this kind of stuff, just really watch any one of my original species videos. Tiba is a great example. There's quite a bit of lore there, though, so maybe they're not the best example for a short one, but Tiba's lore is incredibly readable and is very good. Once you've written it, then make sections on a card page, then paste each section's text into the page. Add a picture for each section, then link it to your Gumroad page. Lore isn't rules, so don't feel like you're restricting anyone. Most people don't follow canon with their characters anyway. But there are people that do want lore, and that's kind of it for this one. If you take away anything from this section of the video, it should be that if you make an original species, include lore. It's something people care greatly about, and it's a major reason why people get invested in a species. And the proof of that is just how often I get asked to cover a species. People want to know the lore. But if you don't provide it, they will make up their own. And that can end poorly for you, because what they make might be way worse than no lore at all. Trendy videos. When you do YouTube, especially scripted content, you tend to build up a backlog of videos you want to make. There are lots of reasons as to why you might not make these. One of the more common reasons I didn't talk about last time was trending content takes priority. When making YouTube videos, you have 2 kinds of videos, trending and evergreen, or recommendation-based versus search-based. Evergreen is a term from journalism. Basically, these are articles that continue to be relevant and popular no matter when they're made. This is my specialty. I've had numerous editors tell me that evergreen articles are my best work. Basically, the signs of evergreen work is that it's not currently trendy or popular, but it's something people are always looking up. Basically, the signs of evergreen work is that it's not currently trending or popular, but it's something that people do always look up. In YouTube terms, this is search-based content. These are things that people go looking for. An example would be original species. These are almost never trending. You'll never see an original species in the news or on the trending tab. This content doesn't tend to do big numbers unless something happens that makes people look it up. For example, if I made a video about a species, then the artist is revealed to be doing some sort of horrendous crime, like, I don't know, embezzlement. People might look up that artist and their work, and my original species video is there. These evergreen videos are great for a consistent paycheck because these are the kinds of videos that your fans and new fans will binge watch because they're evergreen, because they're timeless. They are forever green. Trendy content tends to take priority because these videos can blow up in a huge way. That's because these videos have a very short time frame of popularity. If you don't make a video on the subject now, you'll miss your chance for a lot of views. These are usually recommendation based, so you make the thumbnail for these extra catchy rather than informative. Typically, these spread fast, and YouTube pushes them hard because they know everyone is looking for it. Stuff like this would be major events and news. My best example of this is the news video about things like the Oklahoma furry ban. So this is what the view chart of a trending video looks like. It's a big spike, then plateaus as the subject loses interest. You can see why people might want to focus on trending content, quick and easy views. But this is what a search-based or evergreen video looks like. Ignore the numbers. The line is what we're paying attention to here. As you can see here, the evergreen videos have a slow start, looking like a slight incline, then it experiences random spikes that continue to climb, never hitting a real plateau. Because when it looks like it's about to plateau, it instead still continually goes up, even if just slightly. When a trending video plateaus, it cuts off flat. Trending content basically speed runs the popularity of the video, but these evergreen videos are forever watchable. I can come back in a decade, and there will still be people watching them. But not everyone can make these kinds of videos, because these tend to be educational based, and not everyone can really make that kind of stuff. Sometimes they're creative based, like analog horror series, for example. Those are also evergreen, but they do trend too, especially new ones. But they're creative work, and not everyone can do work like that. Some people are better news anchors. If you're more money-minded, think of trending as day trading stocks. You see immediate results, but if you invest long-term, your money continues to grow. But videos are a lot more reliable than stocks. The reason I don't do trendy content is because of the low payoff, and when something is just trending, there isn't a ton of info about the subject. There's a real danger of spreading misinformation here, which I'm unfortunately guilty of. Thankfully, my mistakes were very low stakes, but there's always the risk of making a big mistake. The only exception I make for trending stuff now is new stuff, like furry bans or anti-furry protests. Also, evergreen is just safer. All the info is already out there, it's better for a longer period, the videos are longer, which means more chances for ads, which means more money, but I'll continue to see results long after the video is made. Evergreen keeps my bills paid, but like I said, not everyone can do it. So, a lot of people do trending stuff. But I can do evergreen content, so I do that instead. That's it for that one, and for this video. Thanks for watching, I hope you found this interesting, a little bit of director's commentary, or behind the scenes here at Sera Proto Industries. If you want to see some of these get made, well, some of them are limited based on money stuff, so if you have a couple extra dollars to spare, consider leaving a super thanks or a sub to my Patreon. Here's the fine people who brought you this video. Brask, Ver, WildKitty69, Beeve, Jesse for Real, Bait, Cryptid Artha, Sly, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Kit Chimera, and Malding Brick. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you all later. Keep it shrimpable.